You can have the world's best product or service, but if you can't communicate that idea, you have nothing. Today we'll talk about the 10 proven concepts from the Adweek Copywriting book by Joseph Sugarman that will make you a better communicator and teach you how to write persuasively, turning your readers into buyers. So let's dive in. Number 1. Each copy element has a purpose. According to Joseph Sugarman, the sole purpose of the copy element is to make the reader read the copy. Every single element in a copy has a purpose, from headline, subheading, paragraph to the call to action. Every word and phrases is crafted carefully to serve a specific function. Think about it. You will spend days and nights researching and writing the perfect copy. The goal of the copy is selling. But if your potential customer doesn't read it, do you think they will consider buying what you are selling? That's a hard no, right? That's why each element of your copy needs to have a clear purpose and work to make sure that your audience stay engaged throughout the copy. Number 2, the slippery slide. As I mentioned previously, every element in a copy serves a specific purpose. The purpose of the headline would be get the reader's attention and get them to click. After that, your reader should be compelled to read the copy that they cannot stop reading, as if they are slide down a slippery slide. Creating a slippery slide in your copy should be one of your main goals. So here are 5 tips that you can apply to create the slippery slide in your copy. Number 1, start with a strong headline that grabs the reader's attention and clearly expresses the main idea of your message. If you don't know how to create a converting killer headline, you can watch the video on the I button. Number 2, use short paragraphs and text that are easy to read and easy to understand. This keeps the readers move smoothly throughout the copy. Number 3, use subheading and bullet point to break up large block of text. That will make it easier for reader to read the copy. Use persuasive language that speak directly to their pain point and desire and motivate them to take action. Number 3, sell the concept, not the product. Often we struggle to sell our product. It's because we focus on so much on the selling the product. You can ask question like, what is the USP, unique selling proposition of the product? Why should anyone care about the product? What problem does the product solve in the market? Overall, what's the concept behind the product? Does your copy tell the concept? By emphasizing the concept behind the product, you can help customer understand the unique value that your product are offering, how it can solve their problem and meet their need. This approach helps to create an emotional connection with the reader rather than a transactional one. Number 4, storytelling. The best thing you could do in your copy is tell a story. Stories hooks people in. As human beings, we connect with a story on an emotional level, and that's where the magic happens. When we feel emotionally connected to something, we are more likely to take action. Let me tell you how I lose 10 kg in 2 months. You were expecting a story, am I right? A story doesn't have to be great. It can be as simple as how your product solved a problem for someone. Stories are memorable. If you can tell authentic, genuine story, people are more likely to choose you rather than your competitor. That's why it's so powerful. Number 5, write for one, aka the rule of 1. He doesn't talk about this formula in the book, but it's the same thing. If you want to write the best copy, you should focus on one big idea, one call to action, one reader, and one promise. When you write for one, you can tailor your message to their specific needs, interests, and desire, and you'll be able to create copy that will feel like a personal conversation. Number 6, show social proof. We are more likely to do something or believe something if we see others doing or believing the same thing. This is why adding social proof to the copy can be a game changer. It builds trust and credibility and unconsciously pushes prospect to take action. For example, testimonials and reviews can be served as a form of social proof, providing evidence that others have had good experience with the product. If you do this in the copy, then it will more likely to convince them to take action. Number 7, craft the ideal buying environment. Sugarman talks about the perfect buying environment. You grab the reader's attention. Your next goal should be creating a perfect buying environment. But how do we create a perfect buying environment? Let me tell you, in the modern era, we write copy for website, e-commerce store, and etc. and etc. Now, since everything is digital, is it really possible to craft a buying environment? Of course, it's possible, but how? You go online searching to buy t-shirt, and you open two tabs. One website is good looking, and other one is crappy. The UI is confusing, and you don't know how to buy the t-shirt from that website. It's so confusing. You get the idea which one will set the mood for buying. Copy is important to persuade people, but buying environment is also as important as copy. If you can give a prospect the best buying experience, then he will more likely to buy and come back again and again. Number 8, know your prospect. Now, when we talk about knowing our prospect, we talk about more than their name and age. The misconception we have is we think everyone is our customer, but that's not the case. Not everyone can be our customer. When you launch a product in the market, you always target a very tiny specific audience, not everyone. So it's really important to have a persona that you can look into when you're writing the copy for a specific product or service. You need to conduct research and find out who is your ideal customer is, and after that you will create a customer avatar. This way you will know who you are writing for. Overall, knowing your prospect is crucial for any business that want to succeed. So take the time to really understand your ideal customer and create a perfect avatar to create the perfect copy. Number 9, know your product. You start writing without knowing enough about the product, and people can understand that you don't even know enough about the product, so they will find a reason to not to buy that product. That's why niches are riches, because they are expert on writing on certain topics. They have the authority, credibility, and trust. That doesn't mean you can't write about a product that you never heard before. Knowing your product doesn't mean that you have to be expert on the product. You have to know enough to write a good copy. You have to know enough to answer all the prospect questions and the product strength, weakness, and all the technical stuff. If you do well enough research in the product, then you can assemble them in the copy. Remember, copywriting isn't writing, it's assembling. Number 10, the incubation mode. This one is one of my favorite. But what is incubation mode? How do you do it? When do you do it? In simple terms, when you stop thinking about a problem and let your unconscious mind solve that problem. Let me make it more clear. Before we start writing the copy, we do research. Joseph Sugarman says, after the research, instead of writing the copy, don't think about the copy at all. Let your unconscious mind assemble all the pieces and elements. Take a break, go for a walk, go to the park, sit down and do nothing. Thus, when you come back later, you will have more insight and you will be more creative with the copy. This can also be applied to drafting. After writing a copy or after writing a blog post, you can wait at least 10 hours, and after that you can start the editing. Then you will take a look at the copy or a blog post in a different way. Give it a try, or if you try it in your copy or your writing, let me know how it's working out for you. So let's summarize what we have learned. Number 1, each copy element has a purpose. Create a slippery slide, sell the concept, not the product. Use storytelling. Write for one, show social proof. Craft the ideal buying environment. Know your prospect, know your product. Use incubation mode. See you in the next video.